Question. If you had today, just now, £1 million, what would you spend it on? I know it's not a Shabbat question, but still. This question seems a bit childish, but I think it reveals something about a person or an organization. Our budgets, the way we decide to spend money, reflect, I think, the direction and underlying values of a person or a company. For example, out of these three, what do you think is the most expensive budget line in the UK budget? Do you think it's healthcare, education, or military? Just out of these three. If you think it's military, please raise your hands. If you think it's education, please raise your hands. Just to be clear, not what you think it should be, but what it currently is, you think. If you think it's healthcare, what do you think? Although those who think that it is healthcare, they are correct. The answer is healthcare. Depending on how you calculate, it's about 11 or 15% of the entire, of all the money that the British government has. And yet we know it's not enough. And yet, there is a worldwide trend nowadays to increase military and defense budgets in the world. What does it tell us about the world that we are living in? You can look at it from many different perspectives. For example, in his recent interview, Yuval Noah Harari said, the famous historian, said that this is the first time in human history when the military budget is one of the lowest throughout the world. Still remains very low, even considering the latest trend to increase, to spend more money on army. So what you choose to spend your resources on is, I think, a reflection of reality and of your vision for the future. Let's take a look at this week's Torah portion. In it, Moses was on Mount Sinai, working hard and carving the 10 Commandments. But, as it's often the case with all the projects, he was late. He didn't come back at the time he said he would. And what did people do? I think many people would know. And all the people took off the gold rings or earrings from their ears and brought them to Aaron, to Aaron's brother. And this he took from them and cast in a mold and made it into a golden or molten calf. And they exclaimed, "This is your God, O Israel. This calf is your God, O Israel, who brought you out of the land of Egypt." And when Aaron saw this, he built an altar before it, and Aaron announced, he wanted to correct the people a little bit, and he said, "Tomorrow shall be the festival of God, of the Eternal One." So people started to worship God, saying that this is God. Aaron said that, okay, tomorrow is the festival. So Rabbi Rachel Goldenberg, she commented on this story, and she wrote, "When Jewish people feel abandoned at the foot of the mountain, the only thing the Israelites seem to know to ask is for a physical object in the form of an idol. And the minute the people rebel, both Moses and God react with impatience, anger, threats, and terrible violence, so that you know that when Moses learns about it, he breaks the 10 Commandments. He shatters the tablet. When God learns about it, he said, "Oh, I'll destroy these people. I will completely shatter all the people, kill all the people. So how do we do this in our personal lives and in our work? By the way, he didn't. It didn't happen. So Moses broke commandments, and then God forgave people. So how do I keep, this rabbi asks, how do I keep my kids feel connected to a sense of purpose and not to get sucked into distraction as they do what's required of them to unfold towards their potential? So in other words, the world suddenly became uncertain for people. They lost their leader. They had clear instructions before, clear purpose and sense of direction in life. And when Moses was late, they realized that Moses is not perfect. They realized their and his vulnerability, the uncertain nature of the world, and the fact that their leadership was imperfect. Facing these brutal realities, they look for something to distract them, something that would give them a visible sense of stability, a visible object that distract them from the difficulties of their struggles. This is the natural origin, I think, of idolatry and of golden calves of our lives. People faced with the complex reality of uncertainty, they look for something that would give them an illusion of stability. Golden calf is here. You can touch it. God has no physical form. It's easy to find or make up what golden calf needs. What do calves need? They need probably food, attention, occasional washing. We know everything about golden calf, but nothing about God. So we don't even have one name for God. There are many names. We don't have an image, no clear understanding of how to be good. In this uncertain world, worshipping a golden calf, an idol, is easier. But the truth is, it's just a piece of gold. It gives an illusion of certainty, but it's not real. We live in a world where, for the first time in human history, parents don't know what the future will look like. Of course, people never knew exactly what would happen, but people would know what set of skills children would require. You need to teach them to, make food, to do something. Now, we have no idea what the world will look like in 10, 15, 20 years. We don't know what set of skills will make them a successful person. AI and climate change make it impossible to know the future and even where to live. And therefore, I think that the world will look for golden calves, for idols, something that will act as a distraction, something that will create an immediate illusion of stability. There is a story attributed to Danish physicist Niels Bohr. Bohr was at a friend's house and saw a horseshoe above the door of the house, there is a superstition that it brings luck to the house. So Bohr asks his friend, "Do you really believe in this?" And to which his friend replied, "Oh, no, I don't believe in it. Of course I don't. But I'm told that it works even if you don't believe in it." So Maimonides has the best definition of God I've ever came across with. We don't know what God is. We will never know. We don't know God's appearance, God's name, but we do know what God isn't. This is the only thing we know. Perhaps this can be the way to help to navigate our future. We don't know how best to spend money, what to teach our children so that they can succeed in the future, or what they do with the rising military budgets and tensions. But I think each of us can answer the question of what we should not do, what won't be successful in the future. And we can all say exactly what golden calf of today world is, or golden calves are. Precisely what's designed to distract and create an immediate illusion of stability and destruction. I will leave you with this thought for tonight. And I know that there will be a little dinner or supper afterwards for some of the families here. So perhaps it can be for conversation. What is a golden calf for today? Shabbat Shalom. We're going to conclude our service on page